soon as we manifest into the position of the perceiver and the enjoyer and the experiencer of the world, it's as though we become addicted to experiencing. And at every cost, we want to preserve our being. In the highest sense, even our beingness is temporary and illusory. And yeah.
Yes. I feel that I'm not one of those who come to you and stop you on the way, no? And sometimes I wonder, like, also in Satsang, I'm not standing, or because there is not like, I'm there and then I don't have a question, then somebody starts speaking, and like now, Mohan, I could say, okay, you said everything basically, but I'm here. It's like this is an opportunity because you don't. It's not for me to see you so much because I see you. I feel that you should. I should show myself also, no? Because like I see you sometime on the land, and I know you are my guru, and sometimes it felt like you're totally ignoring, no, me. And then I start thinking, okay, this is, it's okay, it doesn't need to like me, as long as I know that you love me, but in that moment, maybe I don't even like myself in that moment. So it's like, it's a perfect mirror. I know that this form, the way is expressing in the world is, and the experiences that needs to happen, and the understanding of the experiences, the capacity to learn and to become wise, it's all in the hand of God. Because like I can experience something and not understand it, but that understanding sometimes I'm not ready to understand it. So there must come some pain or something from which I'm learning, and sometimes I'm not learning enough even from that. So there must be some timing. Also, some understanding coming, and I could be taking ownership of that understanding. And so I feel like my suffering, the suffering that's happening sometimes because of this contracted consciousness, is causing pain. And I heard you when you said sometimes it's if I would not feel that pain or that limitation, I may become so arrogant because I feel like, okay, I may not be able to handle that understanding, like feeling that it's not mine. So like bottom end, this is, I know, like it's so clear that I'm not, it's not up to me. Like I don't own my qualities and my, but still there's pride coming, and when I do something that I feel is good and I want it to be appreciated, but like I'm more I'm not enjoying it because it takes effort. It's a lot of effort to kind of hold on to this shape that's some kind of me, and it's a habit totally. And it's a habit of effort. I don't know why, like it takes like when I'm effortless, it's so clear that even every thought somehow coming as which is personal is a contraction, and it's painful. And in that state, then the Holy Spirit is coming and it's filling up this form, and this reflects to go back into the small
The old shape.
yes, into some kind of shape. It's like something that is formless and huge, making this effort to squeeze into something. It's more and more painful. I'm not feeling pain now. It's I feel emotional because I feel that I'm understood. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this, but
It is good. It is the true way of conversing. That you find your way through, through the minefield and find what you speak. And we, in turn, listening, feel through our being the authenticity, the authenticness of what is being shared, and it's something that is alive for me. And that is satsang, in fact. I want to say something because recently I spoke a bit about this thing, that there are some, if I should bring the example of Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj, who is, an unquestioned, is great, one of the greatest sages of the 20th, 21st century. And if you read his books, it is just every word, almost every letter is filled with a potent wisdom. If I can say, even if the letter even is filled with wisdom, like that. But, one can become attached to this wisdom because it's very beautiful. It's very, whoa. Many people feel that. But what I point out to is don't become attached to Maharaj's wisdom. Find out, what he is by finding out who you are. Use his wisdom for that. Because he just, if you're looking for that, if you're looking for the truth, you'll find it in him. You'll find that he's not saying, study, because he never studied. He never studied anybody. He simply believed what his master said to him. His master said before he passed away, listen, you are the supreme reality, no less. You are pure, imperishable consciousness. You are not this, what you've been conditioned to believe. And he said that in the short time I've spent with my master, I never knew him to lie. I felt everything he said was authentic. So there was no reason for me to disbelieve him. In fact, his words landed so powerfully inside my being that I could not hear them. They were just strong. You are not what you have been conditioned to believe you are. You are the supreme consciousness. Prove it. Find out, And he said that he continued to do his business. He was having a small business. He was looking after his family. He was a family man. But every spare time he had, he put his attention to pondering on what the master had said. And he said, I just kept doing this. I couldn't take my mind off him. I just what he was saying, and try to understand what is this, And in a few years, he said, I awakened to the self. I realized the self. And he regards everyone as the same self. He sees no difference between himself and anyone else, except that he knows who he is and others appear not to know. And that's the basis of his interactions with people, to put an end to the suffering that is caused by ego or by unawareness of our true nature, like that. So what myself have endeavored to do is to cut through all this learning, and go to the quintessential things that we need to understand. That if you are looking at and perceiving, experiencing, remembering all these things, they come into your consciousness. You are there before they appear. So you are beyond them. They come and go. You are witnessing both their coming, their presence, and their going. So you cannot be that. That's the first thing to know. That is the first great step of awakening. And continue to look and to investigate, to look into this feeling of I, where did it come from? Who put it there? And what is it? Is it a person? Is it the body? Is it the mind? He said, but the mind can be observed, the body can be observed, the sense of personhood can be observed by what is observed. And little bit by little bit, you come, because grace is inside your very contemplation. And gradually, as he said also, I am saying also, the grip of the world and the senses seems to be slipping away. The power of the mind to engage the attention seems to be weakening. And what remains is that which was here before all beginnings. You are just perceiving. I saw that in a way that was simple enough. I never understood that before. I never knew that's what your life could be used for such a thing. I thought growing up that whatever I accomplished was something outside of myself. I had to go and study something, gain something, to attain something, to be recognized for everything outside. Nobody had made me realize that the treasure of life was my own self, beyond personality. I learned that by the grace of God through meeting Papaji and Sri Ramana Maharshi and Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj, through the teachings of Papaji, not even teachings, but his pointings directly, made me come into that realization increasingly. And it wasn't complete, even though I was slain, my ego, I would say, by the master's sword. Still, the mind kept coming back, and personality and memory, it kept coming. And you just have to keep looking, and finding that all you're looking at also passes. It doesn't matter how strong they may seem or relevant they may appear. They are just momentary, and they lack depth when you really look at them, because they pass. So they cannot be truth, because I understood that truth cannot be that which pass. Even to say that it is hidden is not true. None of that is true, because I am always here. Even when I'm not constantly focusing on myself, I'm always here. And that has to be somehow so deeply recognized in oneself, that you transcend even the idea that you need to remember or forget yourself, because you have no choice but to be yourself. It's just that for a long time we misunderstood what the self was, and got to believe in the ego, which is the psychological mind's imitation of the self, and lived in that shape, I don't know for how long, lifetimes maybe. And if we're not careful, lifetimes to come also. So something inside just grows into its ability to respond to these things, and to somehow grasp them without a mental grasping. It's just like if you keep working in hot water, one day you're gonna get cooked. Yes.
So the hot water is Sahaja, has been
Yeah.
for me.
Yes.
And I always knew Sahaja doesn't need me. Like, I came here without skills. I could make ice cream, but somehow I knew that God, through you, brought me here, and that I trusted. I didn't want to live in a community because I never liked it, and to live in communities. So all the things that happened, there are things that I never done before coming to Sahaja. Working, for example, I always avoided working, and as little as possible. I came here, it was amazing. I thought this is like it's the best way to use the body, whatever it can do. But then I discovered that the sangha around me and the people, I mean, you and the satsangs, of course, but then this someone can, I mean, I was in Tiru also, I watched your satsangs, and it was a different thing. Then I would enjoy the satsang and then just go back and enjoy life or enjoy in whatever way. But here I felt that there is a field that like everyone is such a mirror, and that really helped me to be humble, because there's nothing that I'm excellent in. No, you go somewhere, you always maybe be good at something compared to somebody else, and then you might take some pride or something. But here I see like excellence everywhere. Not everyone is like, but the way I see, like, okay, I have examples of selfless beings who are great, and they don't take credit for what they do.
Yes.
But having said that, I know that if I would have to leave Sahaja, that would be a blessing too. Like, I'm not saying it because like I know that it is like that. So whatever I need, whatever is needed here to be experienced and understood is provided. So the ground of everything is in gratefulness, basically.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Amen.
Sometimes we may falsely believe in our greatness, but when we believe like that, it comes from ego. When you feel you are not great, and then the true greatness stands a chance, which is not somebody's greatness, it's not a person's greatness, it's just the greatness of what is. It can begin to manifest itself. Papaji used to say to me that the truth will never support an arrogant mind. It would never uplift an arrogant person. So the important thing, what I saw, is that, many years ago, when we first started to travel with satsangs to India and other countries around the world, sometimes people would say, like, can we come and visit your ashram? And I say, we don't have an ashram as a building. We are the ashram. We are the ashram, the living ashram. And it was a very powerful feeling for me. And now we came to Sahaja. This became our physical home. But it was really great that we were the ashram inside ourselves first. And now we came to the land which is the ashram that our physical body can live on, and became a place for me that I regard as a holy place. But we are still the ashram. We are still the Sahaja, Because Sahaja means the natural state. So the land Sahaja, physical Sahaja, is only the body of the formless Sahaja, which is ourself actually. This is Sahaja also. Physical Sahaja. But the natural state is what we are, that we can't really show except when it arises through us, through love and through gratitude and through, veneration for the Supreme and for self-knowledge. Then you can see it, but without seeing it. You can see it without eyes. You see it in the heart of your own being. That's like that. And thanks to God, thanks to truth. And that truth we must also find inside our own heart. Thank you, everybody. It's been,
Thank you.
I think this has been the best lunchtime I've ever had.
Yeah. Master's last thing he said was the ground of everything is gratitude.
Yeah. Yes.
I met Papaji also. I was in Lucknow. Maybe at the time you were there. But yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, I didn't really speak English, and also I had an idea of what a guru should be, or that it should come from him. Because myself, I said, I just put myself here and let's see what happens. I don't doubt that he might be enlightened, but if he is and he knows that I'm his disciple, something must happen, because I'm not able to judge him. And but then I couldn't really understand what he was saying, so I just didn't like so much the scene. There was too much hugging going on, and I was thinking more like Vipassana, like a Buddhist, some kind of thing. I was just coming from a place like that. But I said, okay, forget about that. And but of course I didn't raise my hand or give him a letter. And I felt, okay, I don't know, I'm here. And then I was taken away because a friend of mine was traveling with me, and we went. And then some months later, that was like only 3-4 days, and some months later I went back again through Lucknow, and another 3-4 days, and somehow nothing for me there. So I just but there was a chance to see the master on this little room before going. So I was leaving India. So he said, oh, okay, so you're leaving. He said, you're going, where are you going? So I'm going to Italy. First I need to go to Delhi, and then I have a flight there. Okay. So you are already on that plane, he said. No, I said, I'm really here. No. I said, okay. So, but I feel that these blessings are you. So I wasn't ready to understand anything there or to accept what was happening. Thank you for your patience.
Yes. Yes. It's his patience. Everything comes from him, not the person. But the same one I regard as Father, as pure consciousness. The same one. Before the body of Papaji was created, it's the same one. The same, before all these bodies came into play, the same one. We have always been the same one. You know? It's to him that the glory is given, and from whom? Oh, from himself, actually, the same one, playing these things. And to be able to see that beyond the seeming poetry and spiritual cliche or sentiment, that would be the most beautiful thing. It's really nice to hear that you went there. I didn't know that you didn't say nothing about that to me.
I'm not proud of it.
It's a great story.
So still around. How you managed to get away from me?
Say what, David?
How people will ask how you managed to get away from there. No? Oh, I've been to Papaji. Yeah.
You didn't want to be one of them. How did you survive that master?
Oh yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.